Okay, so what we're working with here is the Unit D heating curve of water. Okay, so what we're trying to calculate is this piece of energy, right? So we have energy that's going into melting all the ice. Okay, that's called fusion, right, or melting. So it takes energy to do that. And then there's energy of vaporization. Okay, so after a liquid is finished heating up, when you're adding heat, okay, then increasing in temperature, it takes time for this energy to increase. Okay, so we want to know how much energy that is. Okay, and then it goes up from there. Okay, so we're working on page 385 or so. I might have a different edition of the textbook than you do, but it's the one with a windmill on it. Okay, so this is where we're at. Okay, I find when we're doing calculations, one of the biggest issues is not knowing what the letters stand for and not knowing what they're measured in. Okay, so what we want to do for this whole course is keep track of what each thing is and what it stands for and how to do calculations at all. Okay, so we're going to start with what heat of fusion is and what heat of vaporization is. Okay, so let's put a symbol, make a little chart. Okay, let's say the word, like what is it and what's it measured in. Okay, so let's make that very clear. And you want to take notes. So the stuff I'm writing down right now, you should write down too. Okay, not should, like have to. So when you're working with this H of fusion, okay, what is that? Heat. Heat of fusion. Okay, and you're like, what's that? That's melting. Okay, and this is for the climate unit. And it's measured in kilojoules per mole. Okay, kilojoules means 1,000 joules. And sometimes they like you to do a conversion, like math, right, to switch from kilojoules to joules. Okay, we'll see if they want us to do that or not. Okay, Q is the amount of thermal energy. Okay, and sometimes I've seen it written as E, right? We've had E before, like E equals mc squared for energy. But in this case, it's a Q. Why? I don't know. Maybe they ran out of letters. Okay, and that's going to be measured in kilojoules, so lots of joules. And then N has to do with what is a mole. So that's the amount of substance, amount A. Okay, and that's measured in moles. Okay. Yeah, so I literally just wrote that out of page 385. Okay. So there's a few examples on there, and they also want you to calculate molar mass sometimes. So let's also put M, which is for mass. Okay, and that's going to be measured in grams usually, or sometimes kilograms. Okay, and it matters whether you use capitals or lowercase letters here. Okay, oh, let me focus that a little better. Isn't this cool? It's got a little focusing thing. Okay, yeah. Okay, so 1,000 grams is 1 kilogram. So this little K is 1,000. Okay, and G is for grams. Then we have something called a molar mass. And learning this now is great. Lots of people teach chemistry first, but we're doing climate first. So when we get to chemistry, you'll already know how to do this. Okay, this is called molar mass. Apparently they're different than regular mass. Okay, it's a chemistry thing. Okay, so this is measured in grams per mole. Yeah, and you're also going to want to make yourself a formula sheet. Okay, so we're also going to put heat of vaporization while we're at it. And this is going to be in kilojoules per mole too. Okay, now I have a little flip book thing. Maybe you're operating out of a notebook. Okay, so save yourself a couple pages because we are going to have a lot of formula words. Okay, then let's put the actual formulas. Okay, you want to have them very handy. Okay, so Unit D, the climate unit. The ones you need are N equals M over M. And sometimes they're going to ask you for mass, and sometimes they're going to ask you for molar mass. So let's have those formulas rearranged. Okay, so if you're looking for M, it's going to be moles times molar mass. When they're stuck together like this means times. Okay, or sometimes you see a little dot in the middle, that also means times, like you multiply them. Okay, I'll write them like this so that you can, in case you see them either way, that you know what that means. Okay, so let's pretend we're trying to calculate molar mass. Okay, that's going to be, okay. All right, so there's one. Yeah. Okay, so the other formula we need is H of fusion. Okay, heat of fusion is Q over N. Okay, or if they want us to rearrange those formulas, Q is going to be, I'll just write it in different formulas for you in case you see them that way. Okay, and then let's say they want us to calculate moles from these two numbers. All right, and then last, the HVAP, I'm sure is the same. Let's look. Let's ask the textbook. Yeah, it is the same. Okay, so HVAP is Q divided by N. Okay, and let's show the different formulas. Do you feel a little bit like Einstein doing this fancy math? I do. Okay, so those are the formulas that we are going to need to do our questions. Okay, I'm going to stop that video here so that we can do the questions on a different video.